Okay, welcome Nicola to your 5 minute reading. Okay, couple of things to go through first of all. Anyway, there's a lot of differences in energy coming up from what you're actually pointing up. Okay, because where you've actually asked a couple of questions there, we'll just sort of go through a couple of things and then we'll get on with the actual reading. From what you've wrote there, I presume it's yourself who's asked to slow things down, because where all this information's coming forward from, basically you've pretty much turned around, as much as you've turned around and said that you want to slow things down, you've technically turned around and said that you're not interested. So in a lot of different ways, your and even your energy coming through from that, because where you're saying that you've got a strong connection to them, but their energies now, I'm not picking up that reciprocation, okay, because you've basically just ended it, okay. So there's not actually a relationship based energy linking between the two of you, so anything which is happening is non-compatible, okay. So whatever you've done on that area by saying about being friends, whatever the areas or the intention was, I think you'll find if you had feelings for them, it's completely backfired due to the fact that there is no reciprocating energy coming back from them, which would basically mean you've just called them your brother. So that bit I think you really need to try and rectify, because at the current point you're asking a lot of questions about relationships. There's none. Absolutely zippity doo dah, okay, and that's because the connection which you would need on a energy basis, you've just basically you've put someone on that bracket where relationships can't start from, okay, so it's technically impossible at this current point. You will need to look at that, okay, because basically where you've said there as well that they were okay with it for a little bit, but now it's gone funny, that's because you basically turned around and said it was friends with benefits until they've moved on. So any connection going forward, I'm going to, from what I'm picking up, yes, they may still be in your life, however I'm not picking up any what you'd class as committed relationship coming from this at any point in the future, and that's because of what's happened here, okay, that something's just been broke down. And whether it can get fixed again, I doubt it, because you've mainly turned, there's a link to something's now too unstable to rebuild a foundation on. So you could try and work at it. However, I would say it's going to be not working. It won't hold the same vibration. Okay. Right, what I'm picking up around yourself anyway is there's a lot of different issues anyway. It's not just one issue, and the problem being is, as much as you think your relationship ready, I don't personally feel you are, okay, and everything feels more that you're a little bit uneasy, and this is due to trust issues linking around past situations. So I still feel that there's a couple of areas which are requiring healing, requiring looking at, which haven't quite been dealt with, because there's just too many areas you're not quite sure on. And even on a commitment basis, like half your life has to be void, so there's you're not able to commit to you fully, whether this is to do with children, what this is to do with, but there's a reason why you're unable to commit to someone fully, which is always going to make people go struggle trusting that connection, but that's also because you're untrusting there. So at the current point, you're at a point where there's not the right foundations to build any relationship from. So anything you do have coming in won't be stable, and I believe that's because you're still going through your healing process, and there's this need to get that sorted out. There's also a couple of financial situations which are still a little bit unstable as well, and really I feel you're at that point, you're trying to rebuild your life. However, you're not quite ready yet, okay? You haven't quite finished doing the planning and laying the groundwork out, so just be aware there is a lot of changes coming for you. However, I don't feel they're right now, because there seems to be, you need to just concentrate and focus on you rather than trying to focus on anything else, because it's not there's not enough stability points on the energy vibration to be bringing that forward, okay? So just be aware of that. Right, so that is your reading, so hopefully that does make sense to you. I wouldn't allow yourself to be put off But I do feel it's a case that you're at that point you need to rebuild your life, and the best way to be doing that is to be focusing in on yourself, not on external factors, which is probably the reason why there was this need for a little bit more space. So I don't feel you've done anything wrong. I just feel it's a case that you're not quite ready to get back out there as such, and that's what's causing this friction. So so things don't happen again, I feel you need to just be focusing on yourself and getting used to that oneness with you, and then you'll find that once that happens, then there's going to be this need and this change coming. But I'm not picking up any wild classes committed relationships around yourself for the next 3 to 4 months. Okay, thank you.